Welcome to Lampegat. Indeed, welcome to the City of Light, welcome in Eindhoven. But 3 days a year it is called Lampegat. And in fact, many internationals come to Eindhoven. They come to the city of innovation, of science, technology, of design. And then suddenly, 6 weeks before Easter, exactly 6 weeks before Easter, the city goes wild. It is called Lampegat, the name change, even the way that people greet each other changes because suddenly that becomes something like Salaai.
Salaai.
Okay, so we start to train that already. But this may be a good moment for the internationals to learn more about Carnaval. And for that reason, we have invited Joep Verheijen. He is an oud-prins, an ex-stadsprins, so to say, so he knows everything because he has been the one who has been in the center of the attention during the Carnival period. Parag, you came here as an international, and Geisa Barra Cordeiro, you're from Brazil, and you also experienced
Carnival in so many different ways since childhood. So I'm also very excited to experience Carnival here in the Netherlands.
To start with you, it is really the moment of the year because I know that many people start to look forward for these 3 days, sometimes even started on the 11th of November. Parag, you came here as an international, and Geisa Barra Cordeiro, you're from Brazil, and you also experienced
Carnival in so many different ways since childhood. So I'm also very excited to experience Carnival here in the Netherlands.
To start with you, it is really the moment of the year because I know that many people start to look forward for these 3 days, sometimes even started on the 11th of November.
Yes. 11 of the 11 is the foolish number, 11. And in November they mainly start the season of Carnival. And then many groups have their own prince or princess and they reveal them. And they have a festival and then they start visiting each other in the upcoming weeks till Carnival, yes.
And then suddenly the Carnival breaks loose. Parag, you were here and you were completely confused and surprised.
Incredible, because, I'm Indian ethnicity, but I've grown up and lived in the United States for the first 40 years of my life. Suddenly I'm here in February 2020, and the timing was coincident with COVID. But before that time, it just all of a sudden became Mardi Gras. So I grew up in the southern part of the United States, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what's going on? It's like New Orleans in here. And it was just a nutso thing to experience because I thought at most it would be one night, one day, one Saturday, and just kept going.
You immersed yourself into it, or you wanted to get back?
First time I experienced it, I went with a colleague actually, and he came dressed up. I was living in corporate housing at the time. He showed up with this like really elegant outfit, and he was like, "Don't worry, it won't look like this in about 4 hours. It will all be gone or disheveled or whatever." And I was like, okay, I'm wearing this. And he was like, all right, come on. And then we just went out and experienced the city of Eindhoven. It was fantastic.
Let's move on to you. How would you explain to the internationals what is happening if they just are here and they see everyone go wild, everyone get drunk, shouting in the streets? But that may be part of the story.
Well, getting drunk is a year over, but with Carnival, it's a festival that actually everything changes. So everybody can be the one he wants to be. So you can be a mayor if you want, or you can be a musketeer or whatever. And you can behave like that and don't get very serious to yourself or to the other one. So enjoy being different and enjoying being not serious. That's really the issues. Not serious. Dance, party, and of course you drink a few beers, but.
Not serious, not taking yourself serious. But maybe we can compare a bit, because Geisa, you're from Brazil. Is that also in the roots of the way that Carnival is celebrated in your country?
Yeah, there's not this rule of not being serious. Our rule is just to have fun, just to celebrate life, and we have different ways, different kind of music that we dance. Is also about dancing and celebrating life in a shell.
And I can imagine that it is important during some period of the year, at least, not to be as serious as during the rest of the year, but just to let go of and to see life from a different perspective. Comments on that, you?
Yeah, the different perspective is that you do, you take some jokes on politics, or you take some jokes on events that happen in the city, so you can make really a little bit of laugh of something or a situation. And that's not. That's the meaning of not getting really serious, but as you say, dance and make party and laugh with each other. That's of course the situation that you have also in the carnival here in Lampegat.
Not taking everything too seriously, the mild criticism, that's really in the roots, also in the parade of carnival. Possibly society is losing that a bit. In society, if you think about something, there are some problems if you have humor, or you make sketches, or you make drawings, etc. So, that's a thing to take really not serious carnival, but it's good that you have such a festival where you really do that, and that's not everything is being weighted as a really political statement or something. Yeah.
One thing that for me is very interesting, I don't know what are the similarities between Den Bosch, because now I live in Den Bosch, here in Eindhoven, but in Brazil we are normally during summer. So Carnival is about also is hot, is heat. So the way that we dress is different. And when I saw in Den Bosch everybody with the same dress, with the same colors, and I was, what is that about? And all these things on the outfit. So then someone told me about this idea that in Carnival here that you just can be whoever you want to be in those moments, in those days, because everybody dress alike, and then you can see who is who.
Is
that a similarity between Den Bosch and here?
No. Den Bosch is 180% different. You're completely different. In Eindhoven, we have a very open structure and really dress what you want. And in Den Bosch, they do all have a green suit on with some strange shawl.
Yeah.
So that's really, if you say. Tomorrow on Sunday we have the herenzitting, and every gentleman there is dressed with black tie, and that's the principle. You don't wear a watch. Everyone is black tie, so you cannot see who's the mayor or who's the whatever. So that principle we don't have in Eindhoven with Carnival.
But where did that discrepancy originate? Because it's the same country. It's not a very big country. So it seems like it's very regional.
It's also a little bit regional. It is, and here in the south of Holland we have the Rheinische model. It's a German way of carnival, and it's related to the Catholic religion. So that's why we don't have it in the summer.
Yeah.
Because in Rotterdam you have the summer carnival. You've been there already?
No.
Yeah, they have in the summer they have in Rotterdam they have a summer carnival, and they really are dressed up like you do in Brazil.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Even with this temperature?
With that temperatures.
Oh my God.
And is there a different cultural identity for example, in Amsterdam? Or?
Well, in Holland you have a little bit. I chargeer it. It's not really that black and white, but you have in the south you have the Catholics, in the north you had the Protestants and the Calvinists, and there it was not allowed to have those festivals like we do in the south. It really the Catholic religion has every week has a festival if we want.
Yeah.
We make festivals of every saint, etc., and that's not what they did with the Protestants and the Calvinists. So that's why we have in the south a completely other carnival, and in the north it's almost no carnival.
Yes, actually, when I moved here, I moved to The Hague, so I was there for a year and never heard about carnival. And then coming here to the Brabant, everything is different.
Yes,
Yay!
You brought up that difference between the Catholics and the Protestants, and it may have been related also to the history of Philips being located here, because there have also been some cultural differences between the worth ethics of the Catholics and the Protestants. And I can imagine that, particularly in Eindhoven, the Protestant community had some influence on how Carnival could be celebrated. You had a nice historical book, and in the beginning you said it was not allowed to have a mask. And
Yes. It was not always that easy to have the festival Carnival the way we do it now. In the earliest 1900, it was not allowed to have masks or to get dressed up in the streets. So there were periods that they won't let you have the festival Carnival. So when people wanted to do that, it were mostly Limburgers from the province Limburg, who worked here in Eindhoven, mostly Philips or DAF related, and they had a carnival in their own, how can you say, clubhouse.
So spinning off on that, I mean, we know Eindhoven is a central hub now for expat people to reside, in Veldhoven area as well. How has that been in the last 20 years, which is really the big explosion of expat presence in these areas?
I think that's the DNA of Eindhoven. It's an expat city. We're open structure. Everybody is welcome, and it's not that black and white, but that's a different way in Den Bosch, for instance, and that is what you feel. In Den Bosch, you have to do it like this and this and this, otherwise we don't accept you. And Eindhoven has a DNA that will always work together, and we want to work together, and everybody is allowed to do with us the festival.
I like that.
That's not some nationally feeling. Yeah.
It kind of evolves with the city.
Yeah.
I know Den Bosch pretty well in the way it is being celebrated. There are a couple of interesting things there. You mentioned already the way people dress. It used to be this blue farmer's smock, as I remember, and then you had to wear a frog, an oetel, as they say locally in Den Bosch. And it is society upside down, and I would almost think we talk about it like equality. The new word is equity, and that is a step further. That is namely raising the lower part of the community to a height that they can be, in the end, on par with everyone. And I think that's exactly what's happening in Den Bosch, because the poorest farmers who can only afford to rent a small piece of land in the swamp, the moeraspachters, as they say in Dutch, those are the highest in rank. And the novelty is slowly ranked in the carnival time. So there is even this equity avant la lettre, and there are also things interesting in Den Bosch.
And in Den Bosch, I think in Den Bosch was it a long time ago. The one who was being convicted for murder or something. So the one who was going to death row. He was at Carnival. He was the prince. So he had 3 days, the best of his life, and after that, it was finished. So in context of it's an upside-down world, really, the one who has gone to death, he was the prince for that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've been prince in Eindhoven. What have you been convicted?
Mainly headache. No.
No, but it's really nice that they elevate the people that are at the lower end of the societal spectrum, socioeconomic status, to be kings for a day.
Yeah. And curiosity, who tells you that you become a prince, or who decides who is the prince in the carnival?
Here in Lampegat, we have a system, and we have a prinskeuze, so a commissie. I think it's 5 or 6 people, and everybody can give them names. So just watch that guy or that girl or whatever. Watch them and see if he's a good one to be a stadsprins. So they get a few names, and then the year over they will scout and they will prove.
But is there an event where everybody goes see who's?
No. So if you go to the commission and you say, I want to be a prince, then you never.
And how can I know that, for instance, you are going to be a prince?
Nobody knows it. I say, well, you would be a fantastic prince. I give your name to those commissioners, and they will search your LinkedIn. They will get to know friends or whatever. They will test. They will check, and then they say, well, he can speak in public, or he likes to party, or whatever. They have their own.
So nowadays we have the internet to help on that.
Internet and friends, and yes, of course.
Yeah, and what are your duties at that time then?
Duties. Well, if you have carnival, you have a crew of about 50 people.
Oh.
And the crew is about the prince and his adjutants and his hofdames, so the 5. Then you have a brass band, the Eendracht. You have the bestuur, what is it called?
The board.
The board. You have a board of the FEC. You have some people at it, and they all mostly live in the Pullman. They are there, and at 9 o'clock the day starts, and at 1 o'clock the day ends. And you have 10, 12 visits to pay as prince. You go to different locations, and then you have 5 days, so 50 visits you have to do.
But do you have to take off from work to prepare for the day?
Yeah. You cannot work.
No, I meant not just for the 5 days, for weeks in advance. Do you have to really invest your time into the preparation?
You will be asked to be a prince in, let's say, September, October. And then it starts. Then there's a commission who develops, begeleidt you, how can I say? They help you to get to the protocols, all the things you have to do, and then you go to have your clothes, especially clothes with a hat, etc. It's a complete prepared face what you have to do.
So you have to stick to the protocols, like the king. You have to behave, and everything is arranged for you. Or do you have some freedom in putting some emphasis here or there? Can you choose where to go?
Well, it is also 15 years ago when I was a prince. There was a strong protocol, and there was a guy who was really focused on that. So everybody has a fixed place in the bus, etc. And you have to do this, and you have to do that, and now we have to go. So, and now it's a little bit more loose. I understand from the.
But is it fun for you? It seems like it's an honor, but it's an honor with kind of qualifications.
It's an honor they ask some things to do. So, well, you can say no, of course. But it's really an honor. And if you go with the flow, and if you see the party in it, and enjoy all the festival activities, etc. Well, it's once in a lifetime. Yeah, it's once in a lifetime.
Seems fun.
It was really fun. Yeah.
And you would like to do it again?
No.
They probably have a limit. You can only do it once.
You can do it once, and I think it has a lot of secrets and a lot of things you cannot prepare. So you're standing in front of to discover something. And every visit you do, or whatever stage you have to climb up on, you have to do something, and you get inside, and they say, "Okay, now tell me," and then you have to start telling, and there are a few hundred people looking at you and listening to you, etc. And every time you have to tell something, you do something, you can prepare, but you do it once and you enjoy it, and that's it.
So you get this honor, in September, October, and then you execute in February. What did your employer say? Hey, I need to be off for the month of February.
You cannot say anything. You have to keep it secret. It's completely secret. Only let's say 10 people will know it. And of course, if you get further in the process, the guys who make the outfits or etc. They know then that you're the prince, or guys who make the photos, because there has to be. All kind of social media, so they know it, but you have to shut down.
Yeah, but how do you fit that into your professional life? I mean, you still have to make money and eat food, and then this is kind of just a thing on the side.
Yeah, you have 24 hours a day. But that's the simple answer to that, really. It costs you a lot of time, and, enjoy it.
And this is a bit different from many other cities, because then on the 11th of 11th it is known who is the prince. In Eindhoven that is different. That is just 1 week. I tried to find out whether you will be the new one, but now we know that it's not you, but then there are still 250,000 minus one other opportunities for the prince. Not the female population, but we still have to wait.
Yep. You have to wait. Actually, next week on Saturday there's Federatiebal. Then here in the Parktheater there's an event, about 3,000 people are here. And in that event at 12 o'clock the prince will be announced. So let's say 10 minutes before 12, the old one will leave the stage, and then at 12, the new one will arrive. And from then you have a week, and then it's Carnival. And it's good that they do that for the Stadsprins a week before Carnival, because then you have such a adrenaline, is that a good word, or an energy, because that Carnival period, when you have 50 visits and you do that much party, then you're totally, completely finished afterwards. So if you start at 11:11 as a prince, and then you have Carnival and you have a role as Stadsprins, it's not good. So they
the energy
afterwards.
is already drained. But in Carnival, in the period of Carnival, you're really the head of the town. Eh? Even the burgemeester, the mayor, gives you the key, or at least in many cities that is the case. The sleuteloverdracht.
That's sleuteloverdracht. They give you the key from the city ports, city gates. Of course, it's the ritual, and it's funny, and it's on a Saturday here in Eindhoven.
But you don't have any real power. It's
No,
not like
no
you-
power at all. No power at all.
Ceremonial.
Just ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Curiosity, because I'm a mother, and how is Carnival also for kids here in Eindhoven?
Mainly kids join their parents, but they have a few locations where they have really kids carnival, where the kids can run and do. There's no alcohol, and it's been protected, and there are people who watch it, so nothing happens, etc. So a few places in Eindhoven do have a kids carnival, especially for the kids.
So you just leave your kids there, you go get drunk, and then they just stay.
No.
That could be possible, but as a parent, you have your own responsibility.
Okay. So you check in on them every 15 minutes or something.
Yeah.
But it's also great to see how these children enjoy. For them, it's also an opportunity to dress up as a fairy queen, or as the king, or as a knight with or without a horse, or as a fireman, or so on.
Yeah. Yeah.
That dressing up is also different in different cultures, because, let's say, in Limburg, we see that very much happening, that everyone dresses up in some fancy way. In Den Bosch, it is different. There you wear the boerenkiel, the farmer's smoth, although it's more like a black jacket these days. Eindhoven is more like dressing up in a fancy way, even for the adults.
Even for the adults. And I think in Eindhoven we have a few couturiers, is that the English word? Where they really, like Maastricht, do a lot of energy. They put a lot of energy in the designs and making of it. And that is really, it went up in quality and in what they dress. So it's not really a cheap thing you buy somewhere on Alibaba, sorry. You buy that, but you really make there are a lot of people now who make their own stuff and do that really nice, and they have workshops, etc. So it was really positive. Yeah.
That may make it more difficult for internationals to jump in, because in Den Bosch, if you just wear a scarf with the red, the white, and the yellow, you can participate, and you're not standing by just watching those crazy people. And I like that kind of tiny participation. Parag, Geisa, were you wearing something, or were you just watching the crowd?
I think I had an orange T-shirt on, but nobody made me feel uncomfortable, right? And I'm with somebody that's showing me the ropes, and you're just going bar hopping, or you're going just to walk around and get some food off the street or whatever, and it's really an experience. I didn't feel uncomfortable or unwanted at all.
No, me neither. But my kids also, they wanted the scarf with the red,
Orange and
no, not orange. Red, yellow, and white.
Those are the colors of Den Bosch, indeed.
Yes. So we have the scarves and everything in those colors together. So we didn't have the jacket, but we have those colors on. So we were already part of the carnival, and so we also felt very welcome.
So
in that
we
sense.
were already part of the carnival,
Yes.
because it may make a bit of a difference if you're standing there just
Yes.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think that if you're trying to be a part of the festivities, right? If you're not sitting there in judgment or with a frown on your face, people are gonna talk to you, right? And everybody's in a good mood and taking it easy anyway. So it's a little bit more conducive to that.
Should we go to a couturier? Or just,
No, of course not. Of course not. No. But I thought that because it has a really positive impulse that it happened in Eindhoven. But if you have a blue jacket in Eindhoven, it's orange and blue. Those two colors, like we have, of course, like a football club, you have some colors. So we here in Eindhoven have orange and blue. And in Den Bosch, it's those other three colors. So you have scarves, you have pets, whatever. Then it's also easy, convenient. But if you want to go like a cowboy, you go like a cowboy.
Yeah.
So those are the best tips for the internationals to participate just a bit. What would be the moments? What would be the places to go? Would that be to watch the parade, or would that be to be in one of the typical places, Stadhuisplein, Stadhuisplein, the other places?
Well, in Eindhoven you have a few locations, and at the market you have a complete general feeling. If you go to the Stadhuisplein, you have really for youth, because the music is different. Maybe you like it as well, but that's not really my music. You have the Wilhelminaplein, is for the older ones like me. You have some different locations, and what nice is to visit is, of course, on Saturday the parade is nice. You have on Sunday, you have in the church you have a mass. It's called the mass. But that's really, really, really crowded. So you have to be on time if you want to visit it. That's really a nice thing. And
that also tells that the Catholic Church, even in their services, is embracing Carnival. Partly because after that you're supposed to get the Black Cross on Aswoensdag, on the Wednesday afterwards, and then it's Lent. It's fasting for 6 weeks.
Yeah. But Lenting is. The most people don't know that anymore, I think. But it's, of course, you go to take a cross and you do haring, happen. I don't know the English word for haring, but that's
a herring.
Fish. A herring, like that.
Pickled herring, yes.
Yeah.
No, but this is where the similarity to Mardi Gras resonates with me, right? Because that entire party is right before Lent as well. Yes. So they go crazy and then they stop at a certain hour and then that's it. The police will clear the streets.
Right.
And I think it's similar here, right?
Similar.
They'll go down with the horses in Eindhoven and all right.
And that's it.
Game over.
Yeah.
The entire street is spick-span clean at 8 a.m. Like all this trash and then it's all gone somehow. They get all these people to come out and clean it, right?
All right. Well, in Eindhoven, of course, it happens. The Ergon does it, but it will take a few hours more.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe a few hours more.
This is also very much a tradition in a city like Maastricht.
Yeah.
On the central market, not on Vrijthof, but on the market, they have het Mooswief. That's the symbol of Carnival in Maastricht. And I think she's burned. The pop. The puppet of it is put to fire.
Yeah, it's also in Den Bosch, the Knelles. On Wednesday or Tuesday evening, they start a fire on the market.
And people are crying in the streets.
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw that.
They burn it down. Yes. That's really nice.
People really start to cry.
Oh.
But they're attaching all of the history to this, right? I mean, it's really an emotional, countrywide celebration, right?
Yeah.
So you can expect some of that, I think.
Yeah.
You touched upon the music in the streets, and in some cities they don't like mechanical music. I think that's a term from the 60s, mechanical music, which is meant electronically amplified. Everything has to be acoustic, and then with acoustic they mean the brass bands, the dweilorkesten. I tried Google to translate that, and it was translated in a mob orchestra. It's brass music, and it's fun to play live because that gives a very special atmosphere in the city as well.
Yeah. And well, I look to you in Brazil how they do it. You have all the trommels and the dancing.
Yes, we have, depending on where you are, but mostly we can say we have those live bands, which are the more traditional ones. But if you go to a ball or a club or something, then you have the electronical, the DJs, but playing that other kind of only carnival songs, not really dancing songs or house songs, house music. No, it's really carnival and a lot of different ways of dancing.
But it may be hard for you to sing along with the lyrics in the local dialects then. But the atmosphere is very catchy indeed.
Yes. Oh, it was very nice. I was actually, on my way here, I was driving and I put some carnival song and I was, oh my God, and singing. And, because we have, of course, traditional ones. And so songs that I was growing up listening to. So, yeah, it's very emotional in this time. Like, oh, carnival, yeah, in Brazil, yeah.
And how is that time actually defined? When it is, because I feel like it was end of February in 2020, for example, and this year it's in the middle. How is that figured out?
It's related to the 4 weeks before Easter. No?
Yeah, you were just saying that many people don't know about Lent anymore, but you're supposed to fast for 6 weeks, and that ends on Good Friday, just before Easter. So it is exactly 6 weeks before the Easter event. And that's why it shifts. So we know that Christmas is on the 25th of December. Easter is shifting in the years more or less.
Yeah.
We have been talking about music. Is there a special music culture in Eindhoven around Carnaval? Or
No, there's not a real special typical music of Carnival. In Limburg, there's a lot more musical heritage. They are really fanatic about that, and every village has its own dialect, etc. So, and here in Brabant, of course, there's a little different in dialect, but the villages, cities have their own music, but it's not that big as in Limburg. But
although traditionally playing the music together was also a driver behind Carnival. If you're in the band, then you had to march.
Yeah, I think music is a driver of everything. To every festival or every being together. Driving is... music is... it makes the connection with everybody. Without a nationality.
I've seen these types of bands even when it wasn't Carnival, and it's not like people are just standing around, right? So you've got live music. It's going to change the entire atmosphere immediately. So it's not that they don't want to or they have a choice. I just think it's automatic. Right? You cannot not do it.
So you would miss that in Eindhoven?
If it wasn't there, yeah. Totally.
I mean, playing live music is less of a culture, as far as I understand.
If you say 100 years ago, the villages had a fanfare or a harmony, and that's always a metal instrument, trumpet, tuba, etc., and some drums. So, and with Carnival, a few of those guys from the village who played music, they said, well, we make our own brass band. So, and they start making music, and they go from cafe to whatever. And that's the heritage of our live music. So that's why we think, well, if you have a small cafe and then you have some people on a trumpet and a saxophone and some drums, you have the music, and that's our heritage. So it's together.
And in Limburg, that's even called a zaterharmonie, a drunk band, although quite often they play quite well.
There are some professional guys. They really play well, yes.
Yeah. If you've been doing it for 40 years, it doesn't matter how drunk you are, right? You're gonna be decent enough to get along.
And you know all the songs by heart. The music we have been talking about, there is also the parade. And the parade is not only to show off or to dance. Traditionally, in many villages, that's also the way to give some mild criticism to the mayor or to the politicians or to the situation in the world. This would be a year where there are many topics to make fun of. Is that in all the cities done in the same way, or is it changing towards more dance music on a wagon?
I must say I really don't know, but I can imagine we have all the events on our telephone. So if you have Carnival and you do something, it's not interesting to do something about Trump or whatever. We know that, and we've seen 100 pictures of that guy. So I think if you do a parade with Carnival, you will focus on really local items where you can have some humor on it. But I don't know if that's a tendency or it's going to be, but that would be, for me, very obvious to do.
You say, I do not know, but I cannot imagine, having been a stadsprins, that you're not aware of some of the people building the wagons, because they are working on it for months already.
I really don't know. Sorry, I really don't
He's
know.
not allowed to say anything.
No. I really
It is
don't know.
secrecy for a lifetime, Joep.
No, but if you are going to make some kind of wagon, or you have some concept or idea to join in a parade and you want to win it, well, your mouth is shut. Well, you don't want to tell anybody. So I really don't know.
So it is a secret.
So also here you voted for.
There will be a jury, and they will vote for the groups and the wagons, etc. And there will be prizes to win. Yes.
Well, that's a similarity that we have in Brazil as well, mostly in Rio de Janeiro, which is the most famous, but in also the other cities we have those. Yeah.
It's a nice incentive, of course, because to drink at this moment, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
The Carnival Festival.
Yeah, and even people have to save money for it, is what I hear in certain villages. And it's the highlight of the year.
But you were saying that it's basically become less politicized as it's grown. So maybe a long time ago there was more political commentary, and now it's more just about having fun and being with your friends.
That's what I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's of course really difficult to be more funnier than comedians or more funnier than the internet. Of course, you can do your local stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not easy, and we're spoiled in humor, and we do have so much information, and we laugh on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever. So to do a good joke, it's not easy. Yeah.
No, I agree with that. We've become very much a TikTok generation, and immediate dopamine and gratification.
Yeah.
So what I hear a bit is that Carnival may lose that, let's say, cultural thing, and is moving indeed more to that prejudgment that some people just have fun, listen to loud music and dance and enjoy.
That's what I saw. That's what I experienced. But
it's the instant satisfaction. And that's not good or wrong.
Yeah, it's not right or wrong.
If that's it, then that's it. Huh?
But I still feel that you're looking forward to Carnival.
Yes. I hope you too. Everybody.
Nah, I'm not going anywhere. I hate traveling, so I'll stick around. I'll be right down the street. I live right next to the police station, so they'll probably parade around my apartment.
Yeah.
We are talking about the 3 days that Eindhoven is called Lampegat. Carnival for dummies, Carnival for the internationals. I don't dare to say it that way, but Carnival for people who have not been exposed to it. It was nice to hear all the views from Parag Gupta, India, US, the views from Brazil with Geisa Barra Cordeiro, and with Joep Verheijen, a previous stadsprins. Maybe some final words to get people to entertain and to enjoy Carnival.
I think you should just be open-minded, go out and have a good time. I mean, it's not something you have to overthink. The community will welcome you, and Eindhoven in general is very embracing to all types of people. So just get out there. It's a fun time.
And bring the kids.
Yeah.
Because for them they are very spontaneous and just enjoying it, jumping in, and so on.
I love to enjoy that from their perspective as well. So going together with them, for me, as a mom and small kids, is still my way of fun these days.
And it is not just one day like you initially thought, Mardi Gras, the Tuesday, and then it's over, it's 3 days. But after Tuesday, it's over. And then we go back to real life where everything is serious again, where Eindhoven is the city of innovation, of science, technology, design. So let's enjoy it as long as that is possible. I'd like to thank you very much.
Especially the Prince. Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you all. It was nice. Thank you.